So for this video, I'm going to discuss about fact, opinion, and incorrect information. So these are the expectations. At the end of the video, you can define facts, opinions, and incorrect information and value the essence of determining facts, opinions, and incorrect information. So before we proceed to the discussion, or before we define facts, opinions, and incorrect information, I have here a statement. On your screen, try to identify the statement if it is a fact, opinion, or incorrect information. He claimed that science is an easy subject to learn. What do you think? Is it a fact, opinion, or incorrect information? Okay, so I think your answer is opinion, and that's correct. It is not a fact or incorrect information, but it's an example of an opinion. What makes it an opinion is because of its indicator, which is he claims. He claims. So it's something personal. So it is pertaining to the belief of the subject. So he claimed that science is an easy subject to learn is an example of an opinion. How about this one? How about this one? China is the largest country in the world. Is it a fact, an opinion, or an incorrect information? So from this statement, I think it requires rechecking. We have to look for a source or a reliable source to check if this statement is correct or if it's factual or not. So definitely it's not an opinion. Okay, so it's a race. The statement on your screen is not an example of an opinion because there is no assertion, there is no claim, or there is no indicator that would say that the statement is opinion. And that statement is an example of an incorrect information. So if we are going to check it from reliable sources, it's not China, it's Russia. It's Russia, or Russia is the largest country in the world. So this is an example of an incorrect information. How about this one? Diosdado Macapagal Sr. was the 99th president of the Philippines. Is it a fact, an opinion, or an incorrect information? So as you can see, there is no indicator that would say that statement or this statement is an example of an opinion. So what do you think? Is it a fact or an incorrect information? Okay, so that statement is an example of a factual statement. And there is no expression of someone's opinion from that statement. In English, whether you are analyzing literature or any informational text, it's very essential that you understand the difference between a fact or the difference between fact, opinion, and incorrect information. So let's start defining and giving examples. So let's start with fact. It says here that a fact generally refers to something that is true and can be verified as such. Generally, a fact is a statement that is proven to be true. So it may be something that happened or something that underwent experimentation, factual analysis, or a declaration from an authority. So in terms of indicators, here are some phrases that would help the reader know if a certain statement or information is fact or accurate. For example, the annual report confirms blah blah blah. Scientists have recently discovered, according to the results of the tests, so the investigation demonstrated. So these are phrases or indicators that would help the reader know if a certain statement is a fact. Because from these indicators, it shows that it underwent research, right? It underwent research, it underwent confirmation analysis, or it underwent some experimentation or it underwent an experimentation and the like. So you have to consider this one, identifying those phrases that would indicate or that would help the reader know if a certain statement or information is fact or accurate. Another thing that we should be more mindful of about fact is objective. It is not influenced by personal feelings or judgment, and it is something that is existence, concrete or not, supported with different proofs, evidences, theories, and concepts. So, what are some checking processes we can do or we can use to identify if it is a factual statement? With the help of the following questions on your screen may help you identify if a certain statement is factual. First, you can ask this: can the statement be proved or demonstrated to be true? Second, can the statement be observed in practice or operation? Third, can you see it happen? Fourth, can the statement be verified by witnesses, manuscripts, or documents? So it's just answerable by yes or no, right? And if the answer to these, or if the answers to these questions are yes or yeses, so therefore that statement that you evaluated will be considered as a fact. Okay, so these questions would be a big help for you to know or to understand if the statement or information is factual or fact. Examples: Russia is the largest country in the world. Number two, according to results of the tests or the test, colds and fever are symptoms of COVID-19 disease. And for the second example, there is an indicator that according to the result of the test, it means that there is a test that happened or a research that happened or an intervention that happened. And this one, based on research, the strategy is effective in learning English language. So it is basically a fact because it was based on research. And if it's based on research, it has proofs and evidences. So here are some examples of factual information. Next is opinion. It says here that an opinion refers to a personal belief. It relates to how someone feels about something, or from opinion, others may agree or disagree with an opinion, but they cannot prove or disprove it. So an opinion is subjective. It is biased or influenced by personal beliefs or feelings. So this may vary from a person to another, especially with boundaries such as culture, geographical locations, beliefs, and others. So actually, opinions are useful to persuade, but careful readers and listeners will notice and demand evidence to back them up. So you yourself, as a researcher or as a reader, you have to be careful, because in order for an opinion to be valid, or in order for the opinion to be considered as factual, it has to be backed up with evidences. But again, as what I said earlier, the opinion may vary from source to source and person to person. So here are the indicators in identifying whether the statement is, or in identifying if the statement is an opinion. First, he claimed that. Second, it is the officer's view that. Third, they believe that. She thinks that. So from the indicators we have here, it's more of the personal views of someone. It's more of how someone asserts something. So it is also pertaining to how someone thinks of something. So that would fall under as opinionated information or an opinion. And another thing, when we have to identify if the statement is an opinion, we should look or we should evaluate the statement. So here are other matters that we should consider. So two type of words to identify opinions. First, if you can locate biased words from the statement. For example, bad, worst, good, better, best, worthwhile, worthless, etc. And also, if there will be qualifiers such as all, always, likely, never, might, seem, possibly, probably, should. If you're going to encounter these words in a statement or an information that you are reading, so they 100% fall under opinion, or those statements would be considered as an opinion. So you have to evaluate first the words used. Okay, you have to read first and try to identify words that would fall, or words that would indicate, words that would help you know if that certain statement is an opinion. Okay, so there are three common types of opinion statements. If you're going to examine or scrutinize the statements, sometimes it's really important if we have the knowledge of types of opinion statements, such as this. If you know that positions on controversial issues, predictions about things in the future, evaluations of people, places, and things, you would know that these statements are considered to be as opinion statements. Okay, if you examine that a certain statement is a position on controversial issues, that will fall under opinion statement. If a statement is a prediction about things in the future, that would fall under opinion statements. Or if it's an evaluations of people, places, and things, it would fall under opinion statement. So don't forget about the three common types of opinion statements. We have the positions on controversial issues, predictions about things in the future, and evaluations of people, places, and things. So here are the examples. Okay, first, she thinks that Italian foods taste best. We already have an indicator here, which is she thinks and the word best. Okay, the biased words. Number two, the TV shows in ABS-CBN are more entertaining than the shows of the other channels. So this is more of personal view of someone. So that makes this statement an opinion. And third, I prefer using Facebook to Twitter because Twitter has limited characters per caption. Okay, so this is another example of an opinion. So basically, the fact and opinion strategy teaches about the difference a sentence can create in a content. The difference in strategy are quite valuable for people who are interested in learning English. So this process facilitates evidence-based learning and encourages them to be analytical. Don't forget the word analytical in their reading and listening skills. So in these statements, now these statements are subject into anybody's thinking and will only be changed. Okay, I'm pertaining to opinion statements, huh? So these statements or opinion statements are subject into anybody's thinking and will only be changed depending on different circumstances. Opinion can only be true to oneself. Okay. Okay, the last concept that I'm going to discuss is all about incorrect information. When we say incorrect information, it is the opposite of a fact, and it contains or it contains erroneous details that can cause misunderstanding and other trouble. So nowadays, incorrect information is rampant in our society, especially in different social media platforms. And even us, we can be a source of incorrect information if we will not thoroughly read the content of a certain statement. So here are some examples. Of incorrect information. Pamantasan ng kabuyawisin kalamba. Japan is called land of the morning calm. And after ruling for 333 years, the Americans finally left in 1898. So these are examples of incorrect information. Now, what's challenging in this part? Because there is a need of rechecking. So there's a need of rechecking. You need to know what are the reliable sources that would make this incorrect information factual. So there is rechecking. There is rechecking with the use of reliable source, reliable person, reliable organization to make this incorrect information factual. So what makes this topic essential? Why do we need to know if a certain statement or the document or the text that we are reading are are having contents of factual information, opinion, or incorrect information? Well, as a reader or as a researcher, it's important for you to know or to identify, because if you know how to identify, it means that you have this level of comprehension skill. So, as a reader and a researcher, we have to examine statements because in writing research, facts and evaluated or experimented situations are only considered. So, knowing how to distinguish facts, opinions, and incorrect information requires high comprehension and critical skills. Again, I would like to reiterate, so these are essential in research. So these skills are essential in research: reading comprehension skills and critical thinking skills. So critical thinking is the best possible way of determining which statements are fact and which statements are opinion. And also, as a responsible citizen, we should always utter authentic and accurate information. We can still share our opinion, but with respect and humility. Remember, words coming from our mouth may define your characteristics. Just be mindful with your words. So that's the end of the video. I hope you learned from today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching.